Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. I'm here making a video before I go out because last night I made the video about my mother, and obviously I was trying to use a selfie stick, so it didn't turn out very well. And I just want to let you know, anyone who's actually been watching my videos, that I've given the selfie stick to my boyfriend that he can try to use it because I just didn't find it usable. So I'll try to find another tripod or another selfie stick or something like that. I have another tripod that I can't use either. So far I've had two unusable tripods, but I'll keep trying to find something that I can use. At the moment I'm just in my bedroom and I have the phone lodged up against my lamp, and that's how I'm doing it this morning. So now that I've told you about the problems that I'm having with my selfie stick, what I want to do is I want to tell you about another incident. This incident was with my grandmother. That what happened was, I don't think I was at school yet, and it was in the summer, and my cousins were visiting from Texas, and one of the cousins had learned the F word, and so this cousin was going around saying the F word, and I didn't know what it meant, but I just repeated what he said because I didn't know what it meant, and he was saying it. Obviously he'd heard it from somebody. I don't know who he had heard it from. And so I was in my grandmother's bedroom saying the F word, and my grandmother said, "What did you say?" And I said, I repeated it, and then she got really angry, and she went, and I think she took me to the bedroom, and then she went and got all the children together. There were 6 of us in total. And then she told the children to get a switch. And then she beat me with a switch. She told the children they had to watch. And then she beat me with a switch. And she said they were not to use that word again. And basically, if they used that word, the same thing would happen to them. Well, I didn't even know what I had done wrong. I didn't know what the word meant. I didn't know what I had done wrong. And so I got whipped with the switch for saying a word that I didn't even know what it meant, and I didn't even know what I had done wrong. So basically that is just an example of the type of corporal punishment that I was subjected to in my growing up. And basically, I can't call it child abuse because in America, you're allowed to hit your children and you're allowed to use instruments to hit your children. But having said that, yesterday on YouTube, there was this incident with this woman that she had been abusing her children, and one of the children had escaped from the house and asked to ring the police. And then when the police came and got the children and read the woman's journals, this woman was actually sent to prison for child abuse. But nobody in my family was punished at all for abusing me. Basically, the only thing that might happen is they might have a little bit of embarrassment knowing that I have spoken about it to people, but there were not any. They were able to pretty much act with impunity and probably very proud of what they had done. And this is just another example of hitting your children. If you hit your children, you're going to risk that relationship. You're going to risk having a loving relationship. So obviously my grandmother didn't care whether she had a loving relationship with me or not. I remember I was speaking to a community psychiatric nurse, and I related to her this experience that I had, and she said that if that had been done in England today, that I would have been removed from her care. I would have been taken away from her. So that's just an example of the type of corporal punishment that I was subjected to as a child. Yesterday, I made the comment that my personal experience, Americans pretty much do whatever they want to their children, but there are some examples of very serious child abuse where the children have been taken out of their parents' care. There's this one famous guy called David Peltzer. I believe his mother was an alcoholic and she abused him, and he very nearly died from the abuse. And the only thing that happened was he was removed from her care, but she got to keep the other children. And then after he left the home, she started abusing another one of the children, because these people are sick and they have to have somebody to pick on. And then, as I've already related in this video, there was this one case of this woman called Frank, that was her last name, that she was sent to prison for abusing her children. But that's the only case that I'm aware of where a mother was actually sent to prison for abusing their children in the US. In the UK, they have very strong child abuse laws, and in addition to that, there is no statute of limitation for child abuse. So if you abused your child 50 years ago and you go to the police and you've got credible evidence and the police investigate it and find that abuse did actually occur, then they can actually prosecute that parent, the parent, if they want to. And I found that out because there was this incident with this man had abused his children in his care. And I asked the police, I said, don't they have a statute of limitations? And they said, no, in the UK, there is no statute of limitations for child abuse. And the reason why I ask about statute of limitations is because one time I got really mad at my mother because she was nasty to me. And I rang the police in Arkansas and I wanted to press charges for child abuse for what her and her girlfriend had done to me. And the police just said that they could tell by speaking to me that I was probably too old, because the statute of limitations in Arkansas is 10 years beyond your 18th birthday. So I would not have been able to go to the police unless I was after 28. And so I didn't get to press charges against my mother and her friend for abusing me. But having said that, they probably would have wanted evidence, and I couldn't provide evidence other than my personal testimony. And so I think I've covered everything that I want to cover in this video, where I talked about where my granny whipped me with a switch in front of my 5 other siblings and cousins, and said that if they used that language, she was going to do the same thing to them. I don't recall whether I had any welt marks on me or not, because I think I just tried to dissociate it. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to making another video where I talk about some more experiences that I've lived through.